Ciao, what's up everybody? Alright, we are back in Vietnam. We're over by Quin Way. In this video today we're going to talk about Japan versus Vietnam. Is Japan really that expensive? We're going to focus on Tokyo. You'll be surprised at the answers. Some things are more expensive, some things are on par, as you would imagine. So in this video we're going to talk about it. As far as live streaming, we only do it on kick.com/ZBATZ, Z-B-A-T-Z. So it's ZBATZ with 2 Z's. It's the same thing, we just rebranded on the live stream. We're eventually going to rebrand on the YouTube channel as well. The old Fat and Broke will stay on. We're going to do a whole video for this, so you guys will get updated on that. But for now, if you want to watch me live stream, it's only on kick.com/ZBATZ. So go and check me out over there. As far as Japan versus Vietnam for affordability. So first things first, we focused in Tokyo. We were in Shibuya, Shinjuku, Akihabara, Susuka, all the main areas of Tokyo where people usually stay on their first visit. So the main thing that's more expensive is the housing. So if you want a decent hotel, it's going to be about double the price of what it would be here in Saigon for something decent. So it's about $100 a night for a decent hotel in a great area. And then you can get as cheap as $50 to $60 a night for a business salary, working guys hotel essentially, which is just a super small room with a bed and a toilet, which is what I ended up settling on for most of the trip. Now you can also take a internet cafe. Now if you want to see all this stuff, all of the Japan stuff for YouTube is going to be on Patreon. So we've already got 5 exclusive Tokyo videos on Patreon. I uploaded 4 today. There's going to be 5 more coming. So if you sign up for the Patreon and you want to see all the Japan stuff, that's the place to do it. There's so much content down there. We had a low month on Patreon during last month because of the wedding, the live streaming, all that. It was just too much volume for me to simply keep up with to do all that stuff. I tried pretty hard. You guys still got 5 good, unique videos on Patreon, so I thought we did pretty well. So yeah, if you want to see Japan, Tokyo, all the intimate videos there shot on this camera there, that would have been YouTube videos, patreon.com/fatandbroke. So as I was saying, I think mainly the housing can be the biggest thing per night. And then of course like drinking, if you go to the popular area where all the expats go and tourists like Golden Guy, it's 500 yen at the cheapest place for a drink and then 1,000 yen for an expensive drink. Let me tell you how much 1,000 yen is. Let me give you the exact price, the conversion right now, boys. Hold on. So $6.78 for a more expensive drink in Golden Guy. And then like $3 for a cheaper drink in Golden Guy. So not crazy bad for being the equivalent of like almost a Japanese bar, like in Japantown. So pretty much on the same pricing scale as far as that. As far as food goes, if you eat really expensive food, you can be really expensive. Same thing you can do in Saigon. There's plenty of super cheap street food. Many times there was ramen for 500 yen to all the way up to 1,000 yen. So from $3 to $6. You could always go to like Lawson's or Family Mart. So, and eat very, very affordably. You're talking for $1 or $2, you can get the fried chicken and stuff like that. So it's really figuring out the housing. If you stay in an internet cafe, I think you can get as cheap as like $20, $25 in a pretty good location. Again, just like going anywhere, location is pretty relative. Oh, hottie down here too. Hottie night. Location's always relative anywhere you're at. So if you're going to be in a good area, I would expect to pay anywhere from $50 to $100 a day for housing. And then anywhere from $50 to $100 a day on drinking, which can be the said same thing in Singapore, Taipei, Hong Kong, Saigon. I mean, yes, it's easier to do it in Southeast Asia on a cheaper budget, but it can be equally as the same price, you know. Overall, I felt Japan was an amazing trip. Crazy good growth. Did we lose $1,000? Yes, but did we gain, you know, ×2 of people following the live streaming? Did we meet like a lot of new friends for a lifetime? Yeah, so overall I thought Japan was an incredible journey. It was easily the most difficult stream I've ever done in my whole life. You know, that's the most I've streamed in that condensed period of time. Shout out to Paul Danino for being able to do 52 days in a row at 24 hours a day in Japan. That's absolutely fucking insane and amazing. There's no way I could do that much. Maybe if all my equipment worked and I had like, you know, some kind of, what is this place? Rice field? This place looks pretty new and popular. Got some expats hanging out. It would have been super tough to do that. I would have needed, you know, at least a person with me. I think Paul, aka Ice Poseidon, had Victor with him for most of the Japan trip. So if I had somebody filming me, holding the bag, and maybe charging the stuff at night, it would have been so much easier. But overall, the Japan trip's the hardest thing I've ever done as far as on the internet, shooting things, filming things. And it wouldn't have been a great trip without meeting all the amazing people we've met. You know, Stevie, MP, other Steve. I mean, so many different people, you know. Melinda, the girl Maria. I mean, we met so many characters. It was, and then I proved I can kind of get out there and I can talk to people like I said I would, you know. When I'm here in Saigon, I don't shit where I eat. I'm not going to stream aggressively, you know. Overall, Japan, we did a great job. And I highly recommend you go to Japan. The vast differences in Japan is to Vietnam is the price difference is pretty big, even though I tried to make it seem like it's not. It's still huge. You could still technically come here for $20 to $50 a day if you really had to. Be hard to pull that off in Japan. There's really no rules here, even though there are rules. If you gotta take a piss on the street, you can take a piss on the street. You know, this is a controlled chaos environment, while Tokyo is a complete controlled environment. You know, respect is everything in Japan. Totally different here. You don't cut in line, you queue in a line, you don't spit outside, you know, you're just not rude. You know, it's a big no-no in the Japanese culture. So night and day differences between the two there. But again, you know, Japan and Tokyo is one of the greatest cities in the world, and if you've never been, you're completely missing out. Now, if you're gonna go and you want to kind of live it up, for a week trip you need at least $2,000, you know, especially if you're going to stay in a decent hotel and go out and party. As far as the nightlife goes, it's tremendous. You want to be in the right area. Of course, the subway shuts down at midnight, so, you know, positioning becomes key as usual. So position yourself correctly where you want to be. It seemed like Shinjuku, from what we found, had the better nightlife, especially if you don't speak Japanese. Japan's a little bit more hard to get around, like Korea, as nobody really wants to learn English or cares to know English, so knowing just a little bit of Nihongo can get you a little far. I'm pretty shy to speak Japanese, even though I know a little bit. It's just the way I am. The only thing I'm not shy to speak is Vietnamese, because I know I'm fucking it up and I really don't care. But just go for it, learn some Gaijin Nihongo. They'll kind of understand what you're saying. It's better than nothing, you know. But as far as the experience in Japan, I give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, I went through so many emotions, it was absolutely insane. You know, to crying, happiness, strength, birth, rebirth. You know, I found a lot about myself and discovered a lot of things about myself. We dug down deep and we kept fighting, which, you know, we would still be in Japan if I had the money. The only reason we left is it was a financial thing and I didn't want to burden just a few people to keep us going there. We probably could have, but, you know, shout out to the people that oiled up in Japan. I fucking love you guys, so you know who you are. I don't need to say your names. You guys are top G's. You don't need to be recognized in that kind of way. As far as the new phone, we got $500 more to go if you want to help pitch in for the new phone and watch me stream. Like I said, it's over at kick.com/ZBats now. So it's just ZBats with 2 Z's. A Z in front of bats and a Z at the end of bats. Very easy and simple. The reason I picked that name is it simply is my birth name, and it's very easy to tell people. So Zabatsman and all that other stuff was pretty much taken on all of the platforms, so we had to get crafty with what I chose, and I found that to be the simplest. As far as picking up girls and stuff in Japan, I also had really no problem doing that. I'm married, but if you go back and watch the footage, the VODs will be gone soon. If you do want to moderate and you do watch a lot of the kick stuff and stream, let me know. We need people to clip the good clips out of it too. You know, unfortunately, all that was really clipped is the negative stuff from Japan because, well, a lot of my fan base is people that just dislike me right now, which is okay. We're building it up. You know, we had it at one point, I think 185 viewers for a couple consistent days in a row in Japan. So we're doing well, we're getting there, we're grinding. As I said, for me, Japan was a success. Financially wasn't a success, but in the growth of character, personality, and all that stuff, for me, a phenomenally huge success. So again, I wouldn't be here without you guys. I thank you so much. Go to Japan, check it out, go to Tokyo. Everybody says Osaka and Kyoto is the way to go. You know, Stevie from Australia, the guy that fixed us, is going there for I think another week, pretty quick here. So next time we go to Japan, we'll be going to Osaka. How soon? I don't know. We need to raise money for the next trip. I think the next trip is internally going to be in Vietnam, and it's going to be to Nha Trang, as I promised. So hopefully pretty soon. If we get the phone within a week or two, we'll go to Nha Trang. So we'll get to Nha Trang as soon as possible. As ever, guys, I thank you. We're returning to YouTube on a full-time schedule now, so we will be back filming YouTube literally every day. We're going to try to put out 2 videos a day. As far as streaming, we're going to stream at home and out in IRL. We're going to be streaming more consistently too, so make sure you check it out. Streaming on YouTube's never going to happen again, so sorry. Get with the program and go over to kick.com/ZBats. As ever, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me on the Japan trip. I am not gone. I'm not gone from YouTube. We're going to establish my dominance as the #1 Saigon vlogger on YouTube again starting this month. So thank you guys for sticking with me. Thank you for the Patreons. Thank you for the people that hooked me up. Thank you for the donos. Stay frosty. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out, boys and